I'm live and I'm recording. Ooh, this is cool. Well, hopefully it's coming on Facebook. I really don't know. And I'm looking back and forth. So um, this is, well, I usually do a real estate tip, but this is not going to be the real estate tip. This is going to be just more of hanging out on Facebook. We're all doing crazy stuff. We're all going back and forth. We're all doing many different things. And it says now YouTube, you're live on your YouTube channel on Facebook. So again, for people that are on your YouTube channel, they can come in. I have my cup of tea. You can sit down with your cup of tea and breakfast. And you can bullshit with me. You can come and go as you please. I don't know if I can see you. I have Charlie in the background, and he may get a little bit loud. I put Charlie by the sink. Charlie is my cockatoo. He's a small Corella. He doesn't have a big crown. He has a small crown, but he's kind of cute. Anyway, so this is called story time, and I wanted to go over some. I have some stuff going in my head, and it goes back from the time that I'm looking at it. Probably around June 25th. We were in Arizona right before I left on my trip, and I was a little bit annoyed. Excuse me. People were hanging out. Gyms were open again. All this stuff was going on, and nobody was paying attention to COVID. People were not wearing masks. People were going to bars and hanging out and doing everything went back to normal. I think it was just right before that this was all going on, and I was heading to New York. I had to go to Ann Arbor and then go to New York and then hang some time in New York and then get some stuff done. And even in my office, people were doing, everybody's saying, it's not a big deal. You know what? It's a flu. And then you realize that there's other stuff. There's so much more to it than that. People don't realize, and that's my opinion. I mean, you can feel different. You can feel it's nothing. You can feel, hey, everybody can get it, and we'll deal with it. And you'll hear stories from. This is my opinion, and you'll hear stories from people that say it's no big deal. Then you hear stories from other people that I read on Facebook and the different places that they were mountain climbers and stuff, and they'd never be the same. They got it, they got over it, but they have trouble breathing now. So again, this is something that's going to go on. I think this is something with this pandemic that's going to go on not only through 2020 but into 2021, and until we get a vaccine, until everybody's happy with taking the vaccine. I think it's something that we have to go over. Now again, this is story time, and I'm not doing it directly through Facebook. I'm doing it through a app called, if I remember, it's called Switcher. So I don't know if I can if anybody's on it. I wonder if I could see chats. Facebook chat. I'm going to see if I could see it. I don't know if I could see it or not. But if you want to, you can put your comments in here. I think I'm going to try to see if I can get it. This is the first time I'm really using it, so I'm going to see if I can get it if anybody's coming in, and if we're actually live on Facebook. I'd like to see, if you can hear me and see everything coming in. Again, it's live and I'm recording it as well. So that's just going over, and I was kind of a little bit annoyed, and then New York State put a 14-day quarantine period, so I had to change my trip a little bit to reverse it. Then I was doing this stuff on the upstate New York house before I was actually going to Long Island, so which reversed it. And then I love going to Long Island. I love seeing the beach, and that all went down the tubes because New York State was closing. New York State only had limited access to going to the beach. So it's not like you can park your car and just walk on the boardwalk. So that was gone. And I love going to Long Island and walking on the going to Long Island, just walking on the boardwalk. So that was done. So I'll give you a little bit of my story time. So again, first thing I'm going to do, I'm with Libertas Real Estate, and give you a little bit of that's me, and this is the house that I stayed at, and that's the little rainbow. If you could see it on top of the house, if you're looking at it, that's the rainbow. We had some clouds, and it was beautiful up there. I did do some sightseeing when I was away, which may interest some people. This is in Boulder. So this is in Boulder, Colorado. I put a thing out there saying, "Hey, where am I?" Well, nobody won the Starbucks card because they were guessing all different things. They were guessing Wyoming. They were guessing South Dakota. But this is outside of I'm outside of Boulder, Colorado, at a stream, out of reservoir. In Boulder, Colorado, and this was just really up the road from there. This picture was taken. I did stop off at Mount Rushmore, and I saw little fellas there. Again, was very. South Dakota is kind of weird. They're not doing anything, and it kind of scared me a little bit. I try to be more. I would say, I'm feared for not only for myself, but I'm feared for others as well. I try to take care of myself, but I try to take care of others as well. And it's very, very difficult when you see maybe only 10% of people wearing masks, and then everybody going to the excuse me. It's just that's not COVID, that's just an Arizona cough that I've had for a long time. And of course, I'm a little bit allergic to, where is that Charlie? Oh, there he is. What are you doing? What are you doing up there? You want to come and visit me? Come here. He doesn't know who I'm talking to and what I'm doing, but he likes to be part of the conversation. So Charlie, if you want to be part of the conversation, I'm in there, and you can look in there and you can just hang out with me if you want to. Okay? Do you agree with that? Say yes. Say yes? Okay, good. Say yes. Good. Okay. So what was going on in Mount Rushmore was is a cute little area. It's off the beaten path, off of 90, about 25 minutes, and it's a cute little touristy area where you can go to and you can do there's eating there's all different types of restaurants there. There's places to shop. There's a whole little touristy area. What was going on there was pretty much kind of what was going on that was kind of interesting is that maybe 10% of the people were wearing masks. There was no social distancing at the restaurants. Everybody was sitting anywhere they wanted to sit. And it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird in that respect. Yes, I'm here. It was kind of weird for me to be there because I'm kind of more reserved. And hey, you know what? Whether you believe in it or not, they say it helps, and I think it does. And if I can keep somebody else healthy, if I have something, if I'm asymptomatic and I have something and I can keep it away from somebody else, hey, I would expect the same thing in return. But people feel differently, and that's a whole different subject that I really don't want to get into. So again, I got in and out of Mount Rushmore fast. I saw their fronts, and I saw their faces, and it was kind of interesting. I took some pictures of it. I saw their rears. No, that's really only a funny picture. That's not something that's really done. That's just a cutie picture. And so, I also when I was in, to back up a little bit, when I was in Long Island, I had to get devil dogs for Lindsay. She needed 2 boxes. And she knows I ate one out of one of the boxes, just I think out of frustration. I thought that was kind of interesting. And here I had to take a picture of the reservoir with the geese that, if I didn't stop, was chasing after me. Then, of course, towards the end of the trip, as many of you know, for me, this is story time, of course, for me. I had a flat on my Audi Q7, which is a beautiful car. It was a great car for traveling. I'm telling you, it was amazing car for traveling. But on the way back on I-25, when everybody's going 75 million miles an hour, I have a flat with no spare because the Q7 doesn't have a spare. It's what they call run flat tires. Each tire, of course, you can see costs almost $165. And I needed two, and I wasn't even near Santa Fe yet, and I was probably about 80 miles from Albuquerque, which is where the Audi dealership was. And just so everybody realizes, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting, so you know, if you do need a tow, this is the funny thing, is I'm going to tell everybody, if you do need a tow, okay, the tow truck person will not take you in the vehicle, and they will not take you in the vehicle. So again, like me, I was stuck on I-25, 26 miles north of Santa Fe, with cars going 75 miles an hour, and the tow truck wanted to pick up the car and take it to Albuquerque, according to, like, because I have Audi roadside assistance, which was very good. And they did not want to pick me up. They said, call an Uber. I said, look, really, I'm going to call an Uber on the side of I-25. This ain't happening. I'm not going to do that. So again, I was just looking at that, and I was involved in it, and I said, nah, that's fine. I said, so what happened was I finally found a tow truck. I finally found a tow truck company through Audi roadside assistance that would take me in their truck. If I shipped them, I gave them a little bit extra. I gave them a little bit of tip. So we found somebody that would, hey, you know what? Everybody's got to make a buck. I get it. Coming back to me, everybody's got to make the buck. Charlie's now sitting on my shoulder, and he's going to pick himself until he feels comfortable enough. Anyway, so everybody's got to make a buck. So that was my thing. So at Albuquerque, they put 2 new tires on the back, and that was a $900. That was a $900 bill, and then of course coming back to Arizona, I had to put. The car was still not running too right, and they said because it's Quattro, you should do all tires at the same time, and they did some balancing, everything else, and they fixed the front tires, and they were very good over at Audi in Peoria. I have no complaints with them at all. Very good service. They gave me a loaner car. Thank you, Audi, and thank you, David. You were all very good. Great service, of course. But because you own an Audi, another $1,100. Because I own an Audi, another $1,100. Okay, so let's get to my little bit of a storytelling of why am I doing, why am I storytelling, and why am I doing this, and what's going on. Well, again, just a little basics. You can follow me on Facebook. Yes, I am at Arthur Hasher. I am on Facebook at Arthur Hasher. That's my main page. Then that's my home page, or what you call it, my main page. And then I have different pages that you can go to, and if you wanted to, I can get you that information as well. And you can probably see that on my main page, and I'll put some stuff on the main page. You can also look at me and follow me on YouTube at Arthur Hasher, and I have some channels there you can look at and follow as well. I'm also on Twitter. Okay, and I can get rid of this one, and I'll get rid of that one, and I'll get rid of this one, so you don't see all of them. Hold it. And you'll just see the Twitter. So I am at twitter@arthurhasher.com. Okay, so the main reason why today, now I'm almost on 15 minutes, but this could take long, So if you want to go, and if you want to watch, on Channel 2, I think they got Pet Doctor on or something. It's Saturday. Or if you're not doing anything, just bullshitting, and you're having a cup of tea like me, and just hanging out thinking, what am I going to do today? You can't make this stuff up. I just got a little crap from the bird. Hey, you know better than that. Yeah, you don't do that over here, and you don't eat my change. You just hang out with me. Okay, so we don't need the Twitter thing anymore, so we can go away from that. So again, I had this. So consider my story. Well, now you know my trip, and even coming back, I really didn't feel 100%. I felt like as a society, we're not taking this seriously. We're not taking COVID seriously. Uh, it's not going to affect people. If you have this perception in your head, or if you have your mind in your head that, hey, you know what, I'm healthy, I'm good, it's not going to get to me, and I'll be fine. People think like that. I think that if I take my herbs and I take my vitamins, I'm gonna be better. Again, up to a certain point, I think that's true, but I think we have to have a turning point here, or a paradigm shift, that we have to realize that this is something that's in society and that's in the world that we have to deal with on a more scientific level and not on a more interior mind level. That if I do everything I'm supposed to do, and my mind's in the right place and everything going good, that I'm not going to get COVID. I'll be fine. But that doesn't mean that you can't be a carrier, and that doesn't mean that because you can fight it off, and that you can fight it off for 3 or 4 or even 5 days and not get it, like everybody else, doesn't mean that you can't be asymptomatic. So again, and that's the problem. That was part of my dream, going into my dream and starting and thinking about what's going on, is that I really believe that in the real estate industry, we have this thing with, we're looking at the real estate industry just the other day. We have all this low inventory going on. We have maybe like 8,300 homes for sale in the Phoenix metro area. And I think that's insane. That's like, it should be double, if not more, especially in August, when a lot of stuff, there should be more homes on the market than usual. And we don't have that. We don't have that right now. So again, just really looking at it, I'm thinking that we need some help. We need to help each other understand that we should social distance as best as we can. We should wear masks, even though some people don't. Even though they're mandatory, and saying the restaurants should. I've been at a couple of restaurants where I did go out to eat, and I felt fine where I was. I made sure that I took a table that was pretty much, a good enough distance away from everybody else. But there were people sitting at tables that they had booths, and they didn't like stop every other booth. They didn't say this booth was closed due to. They just had people sitting anywhere they wanted to, and I thought that was kind of. Taking advantage and looking at it more of, well, you know what, if people want to come in and and sit there, why are they going to stop them? But you know what, I look at it and saying, hey, you know what, not everybody is going to do the right thing, and that's just the way it's going to be. People are going to do what they want to do for them. Society has changed a little bit. So anyway. So going back to the dream I had last night, and it was pretty much part of real estate, and saying that you can't just do nothing. So I'm going to put this up here, and it's going to say here, it's going to say get up, do something, and you need to adjust. And the way you need to do that is, you got to think out of the box. Okay, so how are you going to think out of the box? So going back to the real estate question is, why do we have 82, 83 100 homes for sale, active listings for sale in the Phoenix metro area, when there should be 15 or 16 or even 19,000 homes for sale in the metro area in August, and there's not. And the reason being is, what's the matter, Charlie? Okay, he's not. So, and the reason being that is because I think there's as much as there's agents that are working that are just putting the COVID behind them and just saying, hey, screw it, I'm going to work and I don't care. And then you're going to have a lot of people that are selling and buying and saying, well, screw it, I don't care. and that's where the number's coming up. They're just looking at it saying, hey, I need to sell, I don't care about this, I need to buy, I don't care about this, and the agents that are doing it saying, I don't give a shit, what's going on, we'll work around it and figure it out. And that's what you have. You have that, so you have that, and it's pretty much true. It's probably about 50 or 60% of people that just feel, hey, let's go with the flow, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and screw it, and we'll get by this. I don't know. Is that the right way to look at it? I have no idea. But then you have the other 40-50% of the sellers and the buyers that are just saying, I'm not going out and I'm not doing this and I'm not listing my house at this period of time. And then you have probably about of the agents that sell, probably have about 50% of the agents that are really not going out and doing and prospecting. So there's less on the market because there's nobody going in front of the seller and saying, hey, you know what, we can figure out a way to do this and a way to make this work. So I wanted to say here is that I wanted to use this, and I'm saying, so we need really, I said we need really to work together. We need to figure out a way to work together, thinking out of the box, that we can get, that we can make this work. Now, and it means for agents that don't want to go out, and meet in front of people and are afraid, you have to do different things. So one thing you can do is you can go out and you can telemarket. If you can get yourself together with a team, you get yourself together with a real estate team, and you say, hey, you know what, I really don't want to go out, I really don't want to get in front of buyers, I really don't want to get in front of sellers, but I'll sit on the phone and I'll make calls for you, and I'll set up appointments. And if you have agents that want to go out, hey, you know what? Those agents can go out and they can see it, or we can figure out a way to Zoom a listing presentation and get all the documents done online. And that's kind of interesting, a way to do that. So that's, again, thinking out of the box and trying to think about ways that we can work with buyers and sellers to get it done. Now, you're also going to have sellers that are going to say, well, I don't want anybody in my house. Now, again, you have different sellers. I work with more with seniors. So if I have a senior that usually wants to sell, there could be reasons as they're going, you know, maybe they don't want to be in Arizona anymore. Maybe they're moving somewhere else. Maybe they're not moving to another house. So that could be a little bit easier, because we can, if they don't need the cash from the house that they're selling, they can move out and the house could be empty, and then we could just sell an empty house, which is really easier to sell a vacant house. Boom, 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 it's clean, it's done, anybody can walk in and see it, and we have to worry about it. But then, if again, for a lot of you agents out there that have sellers that need to either they have too large of a house and they want a smaller house, or they have a smaller house and they want a larger house, or they just want to move from one end of the valley to the other, or they're coming in from where you have, well, I mean, just talking about sellers, but buyers are coming in, of course, from out of state. But again, sellers that are trying to sell, there are some companies out there. Well, I know there's one company out there that's now working with, I'm not going to hide it, it's working with Berkshire Hathaway, which of course has a lot of bucks. And it's called Knock. And what they do is, there's always somebody going to make money on it. So just realize that, you know, if you're selling or something like that, the sellers are going to lose. The sellers lose money on it, because Knock, if Knock's coming in and giving you buying the house for you. So what Knock does is essentially they go out and they buy the house that you want to buy, whatever it is, and then you move into the new house, and then the old house is empty, so it's easier that way. So you don't have to worry about moving your stuff out and going. You just already bought the new house. You bought what you wanted, and then you can fix up the old house. You can fix up and paint it up and make it cleaner. Or you could just sell it as is and it's empty and that's it. But again, there's different avenues to go, but again, you're gonna give a little bit away on both ends to knock, because again, they're purchasing the house, so they're laying out however much money they're laying out. And then on the buying end, so on the selling, so that's on the buying end, and on the selling end, are you gonna fix it up, or you're just gonna sell it as is, so there could be money out there. But again, for brokers, this is an option. If you're a brokerage or something and there's money coming in, or you have an investment team that you're working with or something, the brokerage as a whole could sit down and figure out a way to make it more convenient for sellers to sell and buy something else without putting so much emphasis on, the bottom line, and working towards just getting the deal done instead of working towards figuring out another avenue to make a buck. Like knock is, I think, it's a convenience, but knock is figuring out another way, for people to make a buck. And I'm back to the old school. Hey, you know what? If you can figure out a way for it to make a convenience without it costing the seller or the buyer too much money, hey, I'm all for it. If you're pulling out of the equity, if you're pulling 10 or 15 or 20 grand or even more of equity from the buyer, from the seller, from the house, I think that's too much. I think that's too much to ask for. But again, that's my opinion. So that's a way for sellers, that's a way for brokers to really get more involved and to say, hey, you know what? Okay, let's help. If the sellers, if we can get, and what you're doing is you're keeping the seller actually with you as a buyer. So if you're selling their house and you go to them, well, you know what, we can get you out of this and we'll get you into something else. Let's buy something else. Maybe we can work something with a mortgage company and do a bridge, or do something else, or we can work with you and you can borrow the money from us. You can borrow money from the brokerage or from an investment or from one of our sister companies, whatever you can figure out how to get it to work. But that's kind of an interesting concept, is that you can get that done through the brokerage. And then the brokerage, there are some large brokerages out there that can actually do this, and I'm surprised they're not. I'm surprised Coldwell Banker, with all their money and Realogy and whatever they got, hasn't come up with an idea where they can actually, and then you got Century 21 and you got all these large ones, but even the smaller ones, they're doing less deals. They're not doing the 200, they're not nationwide, they're just more local. So even for our local company, for our local economy in Arizona, it's kind of interesting that we know the market right here, so we can judge where it's going and what it's doing, and if it's advantageous for us to do that particular deal, for the brokerage to do that particular deal. And that's just an idea to do it. But again, thinking out of the box, going back to the agent, I'm looking at what else I can do. I was doing telemarketing, and the other thing is really, I'm using these little things that I have on the bottom here that don't give into fear, is get out and do something. Just don't, there are some agents that are taking their CE credits now and getting that done. Just don't sit around on your hands and do nothing. Get out and do something. Get involved. Call people. Find out what's going on in the industry. Help others if you can. And get involved. I just think just don't sit around and do nothing. And I'm looking at the next one, and it says, again, be proactive. The thing is, really, is know who you are and what you can do. And yes, we can all get a little bit down in the dumps, and we can have a good day or a bad day. But try to push it. Try to push yourself to do something proactive in that day and say, I'm going to get this, and that, and this done. And that'll, if you can keep the momentum going, you'll have a much better you'll have a much better day, and then one day can lead into two, and two can lead into three, and then we can be more together on it. Okay, and again, going back, this is a dream I had last night. I was sitting in an office, and I was just saying to somebody, I says, do something, paint the office, you know, just don't sit around and watch TV. Excuse me. Don't sit around and watch TV. I mean, I'm sitting around here, I'm at 30 minutes, I'm doing this live video, I'm sitting around 30 minutes, and so the chat's not working, so I don't know how many people are on it. I'm gonna check my phone and see if this is coming in on Facebook. I don't even know if I'm coming in on Facebook. I could be doing this for nothing and just be going in on, on thing. I don't really see anything coming in on Facebook, so I don't even know if I'm coming in on Facebook or if it's even live. I'm looking at it, I'm seeing I have a live stream on Facebook while I'm doing this. See your profile, see what I'm doing. I'm looking at my phone now and see if I'm coming in live. I don't think I'm coming in live on Facebook, I really don't. So who knows what I'm doing? I know I'm coming in live on YouTube, but I don't think I'm coming in live on Facebook, which I really wish I was doing, but who knows? But it's 32 minutes already. I'm 31 minutes into this, so I'll get done with it, and I'm playing with it and going with the plot, going with the thing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, and stop sitting on your hands. Okay, do something. Okay, make the call. Call somebody. Call a friend of a friend. Call somebody and see what's going on in the real estate business. Just keep it going, because this inventory is way too low. Again, we expect COVID to be an issue, and this is I heard over and over again from many different sources. We expect COVID to be an issue through 2021. Okay, just look at the facts. We don't have a vaccine yet. They're first doing the 30,000 trial. Okay, that's going to take them at least. I mean, we're into August. That's going to take them at least to the year to get through the 30,000 trial. And then we have to see from the trial, then they got to tabulate everything that they're doing, okay, and see how that trial, because the trial is just not going to be one day. It's going to be over a period of time. So then they got to tabulate all those results and see how many people, got sick, how many got worse, if anybody passed, God forbid, if anybody died from taking it, from taking the what they were giving them. And again, this stuff happens when you do a trial. This is what happened. Then they got to, if and when they do find something that actually works, and that's an if, then they have to manufacture it. And even if they started ahead and they said, oh, we're going to manufacture it before, they can't manufacture 300 million vaccines at one time. And then you're going to have the people like myself, because you know what, I have never taken a flu shot. Sorry, that's me. You people can look at me and say you're crazy, but I mean, a flu shot to me is not deadly. A flu shot to me is something I can deal with. But again, with COVID, I don't know. I might be willing to risk it if it deemed to be safe. So I'm not going to be one of the first ones out there saying, "Hey, I'm going to take this and I'm going to be good" and everything like that. No, I'm going to be the ones that are going to go into 2021 and wait 6 months to a year and see how the vaccine grows, and see the results over a period of time. So I'm not going to be the first one. And again, you might have 50%, if not more, people just sitting in the background and waiting to see what's going on. So COVID's going to be an issue through 2021, no matter who's president, and no matter who wins the election and who does stuff. Again, you got to go with the flow. Get off your hands. You got to do what you got to do what you need to do. We know our inventory is low, so we got to do something about it. Again, the ways that we can increase inventory, if anybody has suggestions, please let me know. If you think there's ways we could do it, hey, let's discuss it. and let's keep it going. Again, my name is Arthur Hasher. You can reach me at my YouTube channel at Real Estate Authors Real Estate Tips. You can reach me at YouTube at Arthur Hasher. I also have a Facebook page. Of course, I have my main Facebook page, which is Facebook at Arthur Hasher, Facebook.com at Arthur Hasher, and then that's my main page, and then I have some pages with Sun City Residential Real Estate, Libertas Real Estate, and I'm also on Twitter. So if you wanted to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter as well. This Arthur Hasher. I am with Libertas Real Estate in the Sun City West office, but we also have offices in Goodyear. If you're interested and you want to talk to us about becoming an agent with Libertas or working with Libertas or being a part of our growing community of agents. We're probably sitting somewhere around 150, and we'll probably be close to 200 shortly. We have some good growth coming. So again, that's going to be kind of interesting to have. And we have offices again in Goodyear, Surprise, Sun City West, Lake Pleasant, Phoenix North. Did I miss one yet? Lake Pleasant, Phoenix North, Sun City. I think I got them all. Oh, Glendale. Sorry, Glendale. That's in the Arrowhead area, right off of a little bit north of Bell. And we're going to have something coming on the east, in the East Valley shortly. So again, my name is Arthur Hasher. You can contact me or call me, text me at 623-986-0234. Love to help you in any way you can, and help you in the real estate, get you going, even if it's a couple deals, and get rid of some fear, or figure out a way to deal with your fear and your anxiety this type of year, and hopefully I can help you. And everybody have a great Saturday.